Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Jane Shodel. I'm the lead programmer of TIFF's special presentation program, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to tonight's world premiere screening of Bros, directed by Nicholas Stoller. We are pleased to welcome you to the Visa screening room at the Princess of Wales Theatre. Thank you to our longtime major sponsor, Visa Canada. I would like to thank our lead and major sponsors, Bell, RBC, and Bulgari, for their continued support. Thank you to our major supporters, the Government of Canada, the Government of Ontario, Telefilm Canada, and the City of Toronto for their continued support. This film is eligible for the People's Choice Award. Vote for your favorite film at tiff.net/vote. Vote Bros. We would like to thank Universal Pictures for providing us with this film. Thank you. We'd like to give a special thanks to our partners at Visa for inviting LGBTQ+ community members to attend tonight's screening. This is the first of many events initiated by Visa's commitment to providing audiences with more access to film through the new Visa Sharing the Screen program, launching this year in partnership with TIFF. Bros stars Billy Eichner and Canada's own Luke Macfarlane as two men with commitment issues who try to have a relationship. But of course, it's all that and much, much more. Nicholas Stoller's previous work as a feature film director includes Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Get Him to the Greek, The 5-Year Engagement, and Neighbors. Tonight's film is a fantastic addition to that growing body of work, but I'll let the film and our guests speak for themselves. We're pleased to have an opportunity to speak with our guests after the screening, but please join me in welcoming to Toronto, Nick Stoller.
Thank you, Jane. And I want to thank, this is a large theater. I am behind the camera. I am not in front of the camera for a reason. No, but this is very exciting. I want to thank Jane, and I want to thank Cameron, and I want to thank TIFF for letting a comedy into a movie festival. That's amazing. Thank you. I would hug you right now, but I don't know if that's Canadian or I don't know if that's thank you so much. We're so honored to be here. We're so thrilled to get to premiere here. And I'm going to, as you said, at the end of the screening, we're going to invite the rest of the cast up for a Q&A. I'd like to now introduce Judd Apatow. Billy Eichner. And Luke Macfarlane. Oh, I didn't know. Sorry, I was supposed to. And, you want to say?
Oh. Hello, Canada. This is astonishing. I'm going to keep it really short. I want everyone to watch the movie and enjoy it. I just want to say I've never been more grateful in my whole life. I'm super emotional. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to Universal. I could not be working with a more supportive studio for an R-rated gay rom-com that is going to be released in over 3,000 movie theaters in North America and then the world. I truly am so grateful. Thank you to everyone at TIFF, Cameron, and everyone for having us. In my wildest dreams, we would not be premiering the movie among all these heavyweights at a festival like this. So thank you all for coming. Go LGBTQ people! And but it really is a movie for everyone. Thank you so much. Enjoy it.
Hello. Thanks for sticking around. My name is Marcus Shodi. I'm part of the programming team here. Please welcome back Nicholas Stoller and the team from Bros.
Yes, God. Yes, God. Woo.
They'll be out.
Thank you.
Is this on? Is this on?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, it does feel like that. Keep it going longer than the whale. I want a longer ovation than the whale.
We just have 4 more minutes, just 4 more
Yeah.
minutes.
Only 20 more minutes of this.
My shoes are saying otherwise.
Okay. Let's all grab a seat.
Okay, honey, can we sit? Can we sit?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, you heard the response, and we had quite a similar response when we saw this film. Nicholas, I would love to just start with you and Billy. How did this film come about? How did it get its start?
It started with Nick Stoller, a straight man for better or worse.
Sorry, I apologize.
But Nick came to me, I think in 2017. We had been working on a series together, and I had a recurring role on it, and he emailed me out of the blue and said, I want my next movie to be a romantic comedy, but I think it would be cool if it was about a gay couple, because we don't get many of those. And do you want to write it with me? And you can star in it if all goes well, and I'll direct it. And I said, yes. Having no idea if I had the skills to do any of that. And that's how it started. And then Judd came on board not too long after that.
Great. Yeah, Judd, I'd love to hear from you as well.
Well, I was a giant fan of Billy's, and Nick and I worked together for a long time. So when they said, "Would you be interested in this?" I just thought it sounded like an amazing idea, and we had a long run of writing that was really impressive to watch what they did. And even when we couldn't shoot it during COVID, they just grinded on the script and worked so hard to make something that's like so funny and beautiful. I'm just really proud of what they've accomplished here.
Before we turn it over to the audience, I would love to just go down the line and hear from everyone else. There's so many great characters in the film. Please tell us what part you came in at and what the experience was like working on it.
I play Wanda. Thank you. I'd like to think, and Wanda would like to think, that she was the director of the board. Wanda was always the voice of reason. She was always the calm one, but we later learned, I think, somehow that it was really because Wanda was always high. And that was her way of coping with all of our foolishness, right? But it was, the great thing is that we all figured out how to understand each other and see each other.
Hi, I'm T.S. Madison.
Icon!
Now, I do have to say, for the 6 lines that I did have in the movie, it was so much more, but sitting here watching this movie with all of you beautiful people, it sent a tingle in all of our stomachs that I think we were all feeling in the back. I was like, do y'all feel that? And I know we haven't really eaten because we were trying to get in our suits and dresses and stuff, so it was definitely not food, you know. It was the response from you guys watching it, feeling it, absorbing it, and watching the script come to life. Because it's one thing to be filming it, and then, you know, you get your lines and then everybody's lines, and then when you see it come together, you're like, oh, I wasn't supposed to fuck that line up like that. It was supposed to go here. Oh, got it. But, you know, but the thing about it is it all came together, and you guys, did you guys absorb it well? The first rom-com, honey, from a major motion picture studio. Shouts out to Universal Pictures for that, okay? Now, I could sit on this microphone forever, but I definitely have to pass this down to Eve.
Hi.
Well, she looks like
on?
Lilith tonight, but...
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh, just about your experience on the film and when you joined.
Yes, I'm Eve. I play Tamara, and thank you. And yeah, I auditioned before the pandemic hit, and we were like set to do it in like April of 2020, I think, possibly. And then, you know, that didn't happen. And then, so it was just like waiting, and I was so happy at the beginning of the pandemic. I was like, I have a job when all this is done. So that is good.
Hello, my name is Guy. I play Henry. And like, for me, the coolest thing was just the great diversity of queer people in this cast, and that it was able to represent not just one queer perspective, but a multiplicity of relationships and approaches to relationships and love. And it was really cool that it was something that was able to give you so much of that classic rom-com feel while still having honesty about how queer lives are different from straight lives. What? You don't like political grandstanding?
I'm Jim Rash. I play Robert. Thank you. My story is weird because Nick did not come up to me ever at a show that I was not on and asked me to be a part of it. He said to keep away from this movie.
I did not want you to be
No,
part
I just
of
wanted
it.
to share that story. And then I fought my way in. No, it's just a beautiful, what was it, 5 years ago, we probably sat and read it, you know, to hear it out loud, and so much of it's still in there. And I don't know if, and we were not attached to these parts of the part. I was actually reading for Ryan Murphy at the time. Yeah, it was in there. It's not in there anymore, right? Yeah, and I just watched some YouTube and really nailed it. But anyway, I don't think we realized exactly how special this was. But at that part, it just felt, and then here we are 5+ years later. So incredible experience. So honored to be a part of it.
I am Luke Macfarlane. I play Aaron. I appreciate that because I have to admit, seeing the movie, I'm reminded of the journey that Aaron goes on and where he starts off. And boy, does he have some things to learn. I auditioned for this quite some time ago, and if you buy DVDs, you might be able to see that on the DVD extras once that happens. Yeah, I am so privileged and so happy to be part of this. I can't help but think about the journey Aaron goes on and who I would be watching this movie if I was 18, 19 years old. And that's all. That is all. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dot Marie Jones. And thank you. I played Cherry, and I, with Jim and a ton of other people in the room, did the table read years ago. I think it was 19, wasn't it? 2000.
End of 2019.
2019. Yeah. And this is my 31st year doing this kind of business that is overwhelmingly emotionally, for me, it's so emotional because I've played the biker chick, the dyke in the bar, the dyke on the motorcycle, you know, the one always kicking someone's ass. And aside from the amazing stuff that I had the opportunity to do on Glee, this is over the top where everybody is LGBTQ, LMNOP, everybody's included. And never in these 31 years did I think that I would not just see this, but to be a part of this history right here. And I am so honored, and I thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we have time for a few questions. So if you have a question, please raise your hand, and I will do my best to repeat it. Go ahead. Yes. So a question about, this being the first film of its kind from a major studio, and for Nick and Billy, what kind of responsibility that comes with?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really think about that when we were writing it. You don't sit down and say, let's write a historic film. We're comedy.
I do, actually. Every time I open up Final Draft, I think history is watching.
But no, that's true. Like, we're comedy guys, and we worked on this for a year before we took it to Universal. And what I mean by that is, of course, I do feel an enormous responsibility as a very openly gay person my entire career. I wanted it to be authentic. I wanted LGBTQ folks and gay men to look at the screen and go to a movie theater and go to the, see it on a big screen and say, there we are. Like, that's who we are. Not all of us, because we're not a monolithic group, but I really wanted it to be honest, but above all, we all wanted it to be really funny. So we felt the responsibility to make a movie that would really make people laugh out loud a lot.
Yeah, and we constantly...
Thank you. Thank you. It didn't merit applause, but thank you.
I think it did. Our main conversation over again was make this as honest as possible and make it funny. And at every single moment, I think both Billy and I are terrified of something sucking. That is that is a fear that burns deep in both of us. And so that's really, and that,
Yeah, and I have to give so much credit to Nick and Judd and Universal because, I was so scared because for so much of my career leading up to Bros, the first thing they tell you as a writer is write what you know, like the most basic thing they tell every writer. But I think LGBTQ folks will understand what I mean when I say that I've always thought, well, if I write what I know, what if I write what I know? What if I write the truth and my truth scares people, right? Like, what if my truth is something that everyone assumes is gonna alienate straight people or won't be commercial or won't be mainstream? And I lived with that and had to navigate that, as I'm sure many of us had to do in our lives for many years. And Nick and Judd and everyone at Universal said, we're not worried about that. Keep it honest and make sure you make a funny, heartfelt, honest movie.
More questions. Yes, right here. Go ahead. So, what's one thing you would want young people to take away from this film?
That poppers help with anal sex.
Yeah. Definitely that.
You didn't hear that? You didn't hear that at the Don't Worry, Darling press conference.
I know for me personally, this movie is so important and so special because young LGBTQ people, and young people period, the world that is young and is still wandering, get to see brand new visible images displayed in a major way now. When I was coming up in the South, we didn't have this. I didn't have a strong point of reference where I could turn on my TV or go to the movies and say, oh, that's me, or oh, I aspire to be that, or I aspire to be that. And I can say from this moment moving forward, that will be no longer for our youth. Yeah.
And quickly, another thing I want young people and everyone to take away is that, you know, we came up with this idea that my character would work at an LGBTQ National History Museum, which strangely exists in Bros before it exists in real life in America. And when I was doing research for it, there were so many things even I, as a middle-aged man, didn't know, that I don't know about our own history, because we are never taught our own history. We're never taught it. Straight people are never taught it. We don't know who we are in the context of history. I mean, yes, if you go and you Google and you do the work, yes, you can find out, but it's not offered up to us. And I think that's crazy. And there's so much about ourselves that we don't know. And, you know, I won't go off, but, you know.
Y'all are changing that, though.
Okay. More questions. Do we have anyone in the balcony?
Wait a minute, you skipped that question,
I heard
honey.
that question.
The question was, are we gonna get a sequel?
Universal, where y'all at?
Right.
Judd,
I guess we have to do it. Let's do it.
come on, Bros, too. Because love is not love.
They're not having children. I'm not writing that movie.
It's already set up.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's happened.
And the board is planning the wedding.
Oh, that's
Correct.
cute, actually. Yeah. We're not getting married.
Anyone in the balcony? Okay, go ahead, shout. So, a question about the casting.
We heard what she said.
Yeah.
Listen, we all know, honey, that it takes the folks to get us in the door to make it do what it do, okay? That's why when Bros 2 come, I'm gonna have way more lines than I had in this motherfucker. I guarantee you that. And I'm writing all the dirty parts, and you gonna see all types of color all up and through this motherfucker the next go round.
And you know what? The next time, instead of seeing Billy's ass, you might see all this ass. You know. Hey, shake it off, sister. Shake it off, sister.
What?
Okay, I don't know how we top that, but
You
we have time
can't
for-
because you're not a top.
Well,
Sister.
we have time for one more question. Yes, go ahead. Over there. Over there. Okay, go ahead. Shout. Okay. That's a fun question. What made you choose Toronto for your premiere?
We got in and it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't.
Telluride said no.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We didn't offer it to Telluride. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I think it's the perfect festival for this. Meaningful films come here, but also meaningful commercial films come to this festival. And we submitted it, and I feel so honored to be let in the door. I always feel with a comedy like I'm the jester, like I'm wearing a jester cap, being like, well, we're here too. And so it's just exciting to just be in a festival and be considered a film.
We planted that. Your check's in the mail, thank you. Okay, unfortunately, that's all we have time for. Please give it up one more time for Bros.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.